Welcome back for another adventure in math. Now we're going to be focusing in on measurement, and we're going to focus in on customary units of measure. Metric will come after, but the customary units of measure are our U.S. customary units. It's mainly based here, only in America. Not very few other countries actually utilize this type of measurement. So I need you to get used to it because there is very little pattern to this. It's based on memorization, really. So you really need to pay attention and really need to remember all of the units of conversion. So, titling, measurement, customary units of measure. So the first set of notes is going to focus in on the conversions, what equals what in our customary units of measure. So first off, when we're talking about the customary units of measure, when we're talking about length in general, okay, because there's three, so focusing in on just length, we have inch, yard, foot, and mile. Now with those are the four measurements we're going to really focus in on just with length, okay? And with length, you're going to write these down, making sure you remember these. How many inches are in 1 foot? There are 12 inches in a foot. There are 3 feet in 1 yard. There are 1,760 yards in 1 mile. 36 inches in 1 yard, and 5,280 feet in 1 mile. With those, you need to write those down into your notebook. You're going to be utilizing those when doing the conversion of measurements for the next slides. So now you're going to learn how to actually convert. So focus in on this lesson. Make sure you have those down in your notebooks. You're going to be referring back to them in order to be able to utilize it. Going on, looking at the conversions from smaller units to larger units, we always need to divide. So anytime you go from a smaller unit to a larger unit, you need to divide. Now you need to also know which one is the smaller unit, which one's the larger unit. So discussing this, when we're talking about 108 inches, inches are smaller than feet. So if I was going from inches to feet, I need to use division as my operation. So I would take my 108 inches, I would divide by 12. Now why 12? Because there are 12 inches in 1 foot. So therefore I would do 108 divided by 12, which equals 9 feet. Okay? So whenever you're going from a smaller unit to a larger unit, you need to make sure you're dividing. So when we're looking at 9 feet to blank yards, we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to take our 9 feet, and how many feet are in a yard? There are actually, you look at your conversion chart, and it's 3 feet in a yard. So I would do 9 feet divided by 3 feet, and it equals 3. So that means there are 3 yards in 9 feet. Now looking at 72 inches, there are 12 inches in a foot. So I would do 72 divided by 12. And I'm going to get a total of 6 feet. So there is 6 feet in 72 inches. So you're going to use division whenever you go from smaller to larger. Now, what if we are doing just the opposite, going larger to smaller? So if we're going larger to smaller, we're going to do just the opposite. Instead of dividing, we're going to multiply. So larger to smaller, you're going to have your hands out. Larger to smaller, you're going to be multiplying as you bring your hands in. So from feet to inches, I'm going to think about the fact that there are 12 inches in a foot. So if I have 7 feet, I'm going to do 7 times those 12 inches, and it's going to tell me how many total inches, which is 84 inches. So I'm multiplying now. So if I'm looking at 7 feet over here, okay, obviously 7 times 12 equals 84 inches. So I'm going to have 84 inches right here in 7 feet. Now, when doing miles to feet, now you're going larger. Miles are much larger than feet. And you need to remember, there's 5,280 feet in a mile. So that means you would do 5,280 times 3. And that's going to be a big number. You're going to get a total of, well, 5,000 is going to be 15,000. And 80 times 3 is 240, added on to 200 times 3, which is 600. So 240 and 600 is 840. So 15,840 15,840 feet in 3 miles. 15,840 feet. Okay, in 3 miles. So that's how you do conversions from larger to smaller and smaller to larger. You need to remember that using your hand movements. Now you're going to do some problems on your own. Independent practice. I want you to do these 4 problems. So 4 feet to blank inches, 24 inches to blank feet, 18 feet to blank yards, and 7 yards to blank inches. Okay? Make sure you complete those 4 problems and have them ready to be shown to Mrs. Grossman and I in class. Enjoy your conversions.